Welcome to the Harkening Deer Christian Meditation Podcast. Today we will begin a 4-part series during which we will simply be reading through the book of Jonah. This series in its entirety is already available to our patrons at patreon.com/harkeningdeer. For the link, check out the show notes. The book of Jonah is often a misrepresented and misunderstood book, in my opinion. Growing up in the evangelical church, the story of Jonah was often boiled down to the story of a man who disobeyed God and who was consequentially punished. It became a narrative on how if you didn't follow the rules, God would get you for it. Dare I say, it became weaponized. As I understand it, this is missing the main point of the story. As I became older, it came to my attention that many people did not believe the story of Jonah and the fish actually happened as a historical event, but was instead a parable. This resulted in a conflict between those who believed in the story as a historical event and those who believed in the story as a metaphor, as if the historicity or lack thereof in the story were the sum and substance. As I understand it, the story told in the book of Jonah is, above all, a story of God's love. It is a story of mercy and redemption, and a call for us to embrace the concept of loving even our enemies. And I believe that by simply reading the story, the whole story, unabridged, and by meditating on the words, the essence of the story, and what God would have us take away from the story, is what we will be left with. Farm 1. No judgment. Meditation is not about what we are or are not getting accomplished. It is a time to just be. No judgment. Farm 2. Be still. If you find it helpful, feel free to close your eyes. Some people find it helpful when we meditate on a passage to read along with me. I invite you to meditate in whichever way is most conducive for contemplation for you personally. And I invite you to get comfortable and be still. Farm 3. Posture yourself toward peace and loving kindness. Today I will be reading Jonah chapter 1 in the ESV Bible, with the caveat that wherever the words "the Lord" capitalized appear, I will be saying the name Yahweh. Now the word of Yahweh came to Jonah, the son of Amittai, saying, Arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and call out against it, for their evil has come up before me. But Jonah rose to flee to Tarshish from the presence of Yahweh. He went down to Joppa and found a ship going to Tarshish. So he paid the fare and went down into it to go with them to Tarshish, away from the presence of Yahweh. But Yahweh hurled a great wind upon the sea, and there was a mighty tempest, so that the ship threatened to break up. Then the mariners were afraid, and each cried out to his God. And they hurled the cargo that was in the ship into the sea to lighten it for them. But Jonah had gone down into the inner part of the ship and had lain down and was fast asleep. So the captain came and said to him, "What do you mean, you sleeper? Arise, call out to your God. Perhaps the God will give a thought to us, that we may not perish." And the mariners said to one another, "Come, let us cast lots, that we may know on whose account this evil has come upon us." So they cast lots, and the lot fell on Jonah. Then they said to him, "Tell us on whose account this evil has come upon us. What is your occupation, and where have you come from? What is your country, and of what people are you?" And he said to them, "I am a Hebrew, and I fear Yahweh, the God of the heavens, who made the sea and the dry land." Then the men were exceedingly afraid, and said to him, "What is this that you have done?" For the men knew that he was fleeing from the presence of Yahweh, because he had told them. Then they said to him, "What shall we do to you, that the sea may quiet down for us?" For the sea grew more and more tempestuous. He said to them, "Pick me up and hurl me into the sea. Then the sea will quiet down for you. For I know it is because of me that this great tempest has come upon you." Nevertheless, the men rowed hard to get back to dry land, but they could not, for the sea grew more and more tempestuous against them. Therefore they called out to Yahweh, "O Yahweh, let us not perish for this man's life, and lay not on us innocent blood. For you, O Yahweh, have done as it pleased you." So they picked up Jonah and hurled him into the sea, and the sea ceased from its raging. Then the men feared Yahweh exceedingly, and they offered a sacrifice to Yahweh and made vows. And Yahweh appointed a great fish to swallow up Jonah, and Jonah was in the belly of the fish 3 days